This is theedgeonair.com, the greatest music you've never heard. We are here with Billy Jack Purnell of Plain and Simple. Welcome, welcome.
How you doing? How you doing? Good to be here.
Doing great. Thank you for being here as well. My name is Cassidy Chaos. I am from the Chaotic Radio Show that airs every Monday morning from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. And I'm also here with
Big Al from The Big Show. We on Mondays 4 to 6, moving to 4 to 8. And we're glad to be here on the Edge on Air with our special guests.
That's smooth.
Hanging here in the Edge Lounge with Billy Jack Purnell. So we're just going to ask him a couple questions. So where did your name, Plain and Simple, where did that stem from?
Taught myself how to play by ear, and everything that I put together was basic chords, basic progressions, and being self-taught, I didn't know anything technical, so I kind of derived my lyrics from my life and experiences that I was going through, so I figured that being that the chords and music was simple and the words were everyday life, that Plain and Simple fit it well, best described the music. Since then, I've had to start associating my name with it, now that by the grace of God has gotten out there quite a bit, and just to let people know that Billy Jack Purnell and Plain and Simple are one and the same,
Yes.
Not two different people.
All right.
That's very cool. So where are you from?
I'm from currently Jefferson City, Missouri. It's the Show Me State capital, and I moved there last year with my fiance and my kids, and I was born there but raised about 30 miles west in a little town called Clarksburg, Missouri in Montauk County. It's a little bitty town, more cows than people, so it's got to go 30 miles in any direction to get to a Walmart or anything important, so it's good to be where we're at now. We're loving it.
Excellent.
Well, any collabos you like to work with? Have you worked with any collabos first?
Actually, to date, I haven't never done any kind of music with anybody. Just always wrote my own stuff and done what I could to get it out there. But I think if I ever got the opportunity, I'd love to work with like Rob Thomas. I love the way he writes, and I'm really Sam Smith. He's a new guy on the scene that I'm really digging. He's got some great stuff, and I think in the country area of things, I like Blake Shelton, Eric Church. Those kind of guys. They do pretty good. But I mean, I would love to work with anybody that puts message and good emotion in their material.
Okay. What is your favorite thing to do in Missouri?
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. Missouri it's a great state, don't get me wrong, but where I'm mostly, located at, there's not a whole lot going on. It is the capital and there's things to do, but typically you have more luck finding a creek, gravel roads, drink some beer and have a good time with some friends, things like that. Playing music, that's where I get my kicks.
Excellent. At what point did you realize you wanted to do music, pursue it?
To be honest, unlike most, I guess I've never had, I never had a desire to go somewhere with music or be famous or anything like that. It's kind of an accident. At 16, I went over a cliff in my car and had a pretty bad wreck that landed me in a chair for a while, and I couldn't go anywhere, so I ended up learning how to play guitar, stuck in that chair. Pretty soon taught myself to write, and I never dreamed people would get into the stuff I was putting out and what I do, and so I would love to be able to tell you that I've had a guitar in my hand since I was 3 and the dream to go somewhere with it, but that would just be false. So the fact that this is happening, and more all the time, it's growing and getting bigger. It's not something I ever necessarily aspired for, but I'll ride the ride, that's for sure.
And that's really interesting, too, because you said you learned how to play guitar just by ear, right?
Right. Just taught myself. Back in those days, there was no YouTube or internet or any cool stuff like that. So, and where I'm from, there was nobody to give lessons or teach you how to play. So, and I couldn't have gone there anyways, being in that chair. So I beat the hell out of the guitar, to be honest, until it started making noise that was good.
Love it.
So your fan base is probably going to be an older crowd, people that's been through something that can relate to your music.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, what I hear from the fans that are out there, and again, by the grace of God, there is some.
Right.
And what I hear from most of these people is that in my music, they find stuff they can relate to. It's things that they've been. Everybody's been through that bad relationship. There's a lot of us out there that are recovering from drug addictions, and and it's. I've always been honest in my songwriting, and I think that's what comes across to people that, go through these same things in life. So,
it's good stuff.
So what kind of music did you grow up listening to? What are some of your music influences?
Oh, wow. You know, definitely traditional country. I mean, my dad and my mom, they were real big into, you know, Hank Williams Sr. and Hank Snow, Alabama, you know, these older country artists that were phenomenal for what they did. And so I always had that. But my dad, he was also into 50s, golden oldies, doo-wop kind of music. Yeah. And so I had a lot of that. Then my brothers and sisters, they were a little bit older than me, you know, and obviously younger than my parents. And so Bruce Springsteen was playing around the house, and a lot of 80s hair bands, you know. So I'm a wide range of influences. I think when I became a teen, I got kind of turned on to rock and all of that. So I went through a phase of listening to a lot of heavy music, and in fact wanted to write heavier, but it just doesn't come out like that, you know.
It just wasn't plain and simple, right?
Exactly. Yeah, certainly not. Certainly not.
So while you've been doing music, what were some obstacles that you've had to overcome?
I think the largest obstacle I've had to get through is my geographical location has kept me, you know, confined in this box. You know, where I'm from, there's no music scene to speak of. And had it not been for the internet, I don't think, you know, I'd even be here today. Nobody would have ever heard this. You know, I'm a regular guy, plain and simple dude. I don't have a lot of money to speak of. I raise a family and work every day, and there's not a whole lot of time for music or money for it. So, you know, and again, where I'm at, there's no record labels. You know, there's no scouts that come through. You don't have that. You can gig at bars and get out and do your thing. It's just you're not going to get noticed. You know. So again, thank God for the internet.
So you've been out to Nashville. Have you been to Nashville? Because I know a lot of music people start out there, artists start out there, and they work their way from somewhere to come to Nashville. So that gives them a stage for them to start getting their music out there. Yeah,
I tell you, I've never been there. Always wanted to go, and you know, never really had a reason to do that until recently. I just found out that I got selected to play this year's Country Fan Jam in 2015.
That's good.
Awesome.
And you know, I don't know, maybe you recall they used to have a country fan fair it took place at the fairgrounds in Nashville from like 72 to 2001. And it was, you know, it's your legendary country artist and then today's chart toppers. That it's a 4-day festival that's geared towards the fans, you know, to kind of give the fans a voice, let them meet people, you know, meet and greets. Plus they get to see a show, you know, this great performers for $25 a day, you know. This year it's a 4-day thing, you know, $100 gets you into all 4 days, and you get to see the people that you love, and plus emerging artists like myself that you never heard of before, you know. So it's a good thing for everybody. But that's going down June 11th through the 14th, and, you know, the kids at home, they're all full excited. It's the first time they get to go out with Dad and do something cool like that, and they're all hoping they can bump elbows with some famous guys, you know.
Sounds like a great time. Can't wait for that. So, okay, kind of a wacky question here. Do you have any hidden talents that no one knows about?
Well, I like to think that I can fix everything, but I would say probably art. You know, I've always been able to draw pretty well, and at one point I had an idea of maybe getting into graphic design or something like that, but that took college money, and I didn't have that. So I just never went that route. And cook, I like to cook. I can cook pretty good, you know, tear it up in the kitchen. So
it's important.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
What you like to cook? What's your favorite food you like to cook?
Oh man, I can fry some chicken.
Oh yeah,
gosh,
that's my favorite.
Yes,
love me some chicken, man.
Yes,
I
love some chicken.
The old lady smoking hot, but I got to keep her away from that fried chicken. She tears some chicken up. So.
Well, next time save us a little plate. Okay.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
Okay, what is your most memorable experience that you've had thus far with performing? Is there like a certain performance that really stood out to you that was really like, wow, like this is amazing, like I really am feeling this right now?
You know, to be honest, I don't think I've had that yet, you know, where there's been one thing that really just kind of highlighted the whole thing. For me, everything that comes along with it. Being here today, you know, getting a song on the air, because that's so difficult for an independent guy to do that's never been out, you know, not out there really. But for me, it's every bit of it. You know, like I said before, I think if I would have had this dream or desire to go somewhere with music and really shot for that, and maybe then it would be a little different, but I take it all as it's a blessing, you know, it's a gift. to get out there, to have your music move a little further, and and the fans is what keeps it alive. So I appreciate them above all. God and the fans, that's what you owe it all to. So
Oh yeah.
so instead of one iconic performance or memorable moment, I think it's just everything together is what really I don't know, it teaches you that there's gifts.
How do you go about preparing for a performance?
To be honest, I kind of wing it.
Oh, wow.
It's just music's something that I do. So I mean, I would love to say that I practice and I constantly, but I'm working all day every day, and then I come home and I'm supper baths in bed with the woman and the kids, and so I don't have a whole lot of time. But when you're a musician and it comes from the heart, it's there.
Right.
You sit down, you play, you kind of find that spot and you run with it, and so I wing it.
So you play the acoustic. Do you play the lead too, or you just play the acoustic?
I've kind of developed over the years sort of a rhythm / lead style. I run the rhythm, and when I can, I throw a fill or two in there, and I never realize exactly. To be honest, I still don't know what the hell I'm doing on there. I play it, and I go with what I think sounds good, what makes me feel good, but it ends up having a pretty equal amount of rhythm and lead.
Okay.
I'd love to be able to bust out in crazy fancy solos, but I'm not there yet.
Okay.
Working on it, huh?
Yeah, working on it.
Okay. So besides your own music, what is a song that you cannot get out of your head right now?
Take Me to Church.
Take You to Church?
I love that song.
All right.
I love that song.
Okay.
Take Me to Church.
Yeah, that's a good tune.
Definitely a good song.
What is your most memorable line from a movie?
Oh, wow. Wow. You know what? And this is a problem because we're watching kid shows all the time.
Or a kid show.
My kids always watching shows.
Don't say nothing about that one that just the kids play all the time. The Frost.
Oh, yeah. Well, there it is. Right now, the most memorable thing that jumps out to me is that Let It Go tune off of Frozen.
Wow. Frozen.
Frozen. I was like, Frost.
Frozen.
I got a 5-year-old that runs around the house
Oh,
just
my gosh.
singing it, boy.
I got you on that one, too. I feel you, because I got my daughters, and I'm like tired of hearing it.
Oh, constantly.
Yeah.
Kids are obsessed, huh?
Yes.
The other day, her
Yeah.
mom caught her. I don't know what she was doing. She was on her little world, but she was freezing stuff,
Oh, wow.
little thing. It was awesome.
Okay. So what's your writing process like when you sit down and finally start writing?
Typically, I write off my life and my experiences. So, whether it be good and bad, I mean, almost every day is a potential new song, really, because every day is different. You live different things. But just naturally, when you learn to write off emotion and your life, what you live, if you go through something good, that'll come out in song, no doubt, And if you go through something bad, some kind of trying times, that also comes out. And so typically how it'll work is I'll go through something, it'll be on my mind, and I guess instead of confiding in someone, I do it in that 6th string and end up putting life behind the strings. And when I write a tune and I feel like I've gotten out what I'm thinking or trying to say, it's therapeutic. It's a release that you can't get nowhere else. And ironically, whatever tune you do come up with, every time you play that song, no matter how long it's been since you wrote it, it immediately takes you right back to where you was and what you were going through at that time. And so it's really cool. It is a process, but.
Now you're working on your second. You said you got 2 albums.
Yeah.
So you had enough for a 3rd album. But so in your first album, when you put that out, when you was working on that one, did you put more into your second one as you was working with it? Do you think it was more, saying you felt more experienced?
Yeah, I think so. The first album I put out there, I was in a bad marriage at the time, and I was wrestling with a few addictions, to be honest. And so that album was called Plain and Simple Acousticeuticals, and you can get it on the site, www.plainandsimple.net and iTunes and everywhere. But every tune on there, it's a lot of soul searching and bad relationship, a lot of party songs, because I was doing a lot of that at the time, and so it's definitely in there, and it shows. And then my second album I put out was Plain and Simple Bipolar 101, and that one I put a couple of songs that fit the old style because the music had changed so much. I had grown as a person. I had cleaned up. I had gotten custody of my kids and became a responsible stand-up man, you know. And so those songs were mature, family-oriented, and I mean, there was a lot of God references in there. But it was such a jump from what my first album was. I had to put a couple songs on there that, you know, the fans dug out of that old stuff. So you'll hear a couple on there that probably shouldn't be on the radio, you know. But the rest of it, it was you could certainly hear the growth, you know.
Okay,
And
right, that's what I was wondering. That's why I was just stemming the question towards the growth from the first album to the second.
yeah, it happens. I mean, and again, you know, when you write off your life, as time goes by, things change. Music does too. It grows and becomes something completely different, you know.
What goals do you have for yourself this year? It's only February, and is there, you know, what goals do you have for yourself and your music?
I think now, you know, again, I never really got into it for it to go somewhere. But the more that I see where it's going and how far it's getting out there, I can see that, you know, maybe there is a potential for this music to one day help pay the bills. And if I can get to where I'm, you know, providing for me and mine with this music, I would love to do that, you know.
So independently, since you're an independent artist and you're putting your music out there independently, so all your money and royalties come straight to you. Like if you go on YouTube and somebody purchased their DVD or CD, all your funds come straight to you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good thing about being independent. You don't got an executive producer. You got
that's exactly right.
Yeah, so that's good.
The good part of it is you know, you get 100% of everything. You know, the bad part of it is there's a whole lot of opportunities that you can't get out there and get involved with because, you know, you don't got the right people in place to get you there. And you know, in my opinion, the music industry is a lot more of who you know than what you know. And so yeah, being an independent artist, you have a lot of you know, you got all the creative freedom, you got all the royalties, you handle all of it, but you have to wear so many hats that you can't put enough time, you know, and effort into each thing that it really needs to I think, you know, make it develop right.
But you got your promoters that get out there and do it on the leg.
Oh yeah, I got my good buddies.
Shout out to them.
Dustin Lawler, 30-Pack Jack. They're my road dogs, boy. Anytime we get something like this, we go do. You know, these guys are always down to jump in the van, run with me, and
that's good.
And
that's good stuff.
it's becoming a great thing, you know. And then at home, you know, my fiance, she's super supportive. You know, my kids, they're all super supportive. They're probably listening to this, you know, right now. Love you, honey, and kids. Listen to your mom. You know, but they're good, and having that's what makes it happen. You know, because when you get an opportunity, something like this one, you know, that I feel blessed to have. If you don't have them people behind you, you know, it just don't happen.
Gotta have that support from the family. It does a lot. It helps you. Especially when you're getting down, you like figure like my music's not going nowhere. Your family like, oh, Dad, this music is great. We love it. Listen to your CD. Listen to your CD today. You know,
all the time, 20 times in a row.
Oh yeah.
And never get sick of it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you know. And them kids, I got 2 of them in high school down there, so they're running around the high school, you know, trying to get it going on and telling them, hey, check out my dad. Google him. He's on Google. You can do this.
That's the way to do it.
Daughter right now is currently trying to get it up in the Jefferson City High School newspaper. You know? She's on that and she's doing her thing, and you know, I couldn't be more proud or appreciate them kids more. I mean, you're right, they do a lot to help out anywhere they can. You know, I'm an old dude. I do Facebook. That's about it. You know, them kids are on Snapchat and Instagram and all these things I don't know.
But that's the key right now, networking, getting on that social media.
You're right.
Because it's worldwide.
It's a huge platform.
That thing out there.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's exactly what's done it for me. I mean, if it was up to me physically to you know, go places and try to get that, I couldn't do it. And so, you know, having a Facebook page, I got a personal page, Billy Jack Purnell, that people friend request me at and find out about the music. I got a Plain and Simple page on Facebook that, you know, people can look up and like, and pushing for 1,000. It was like 915 yesterday, so you know, I'm hoping to get 1,000 likes.
Yeah, once they check this out, it's gonna go up there.
Right.
So
you know,
the team at home got your back. You got a team at home.
But there's a Twitter account, Billy J Purnell. I think it's at Billy J Purnell or something. I got a site, www.plainandsimple.net. I mean, it's out there, and typically, if you just Google Billy Jack Purnell Plain and Simple, you'll get it all. You know,
Whole package.
Yeah, yeah, magazine. You know, I've had some reviews and some different things, and so you can get on there and check all that out.
Excellent. Well, we are here at the Edge Lounge, edgeonair.com, and now we are going to go ahead and get into a live performance from Billy Jack Purnell himself, plain and simple. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that.
Check us out.
That'd be awesome.
This is Big Al here. We're here in the lounge on the Edge on Air. I'm here with the Big Show. We got a live performance here with Billy Jack Purnell with Plain and Simple, and I'm sure you enjoy it.
All right, I usually introduce these songs a little bit before I play them. So I want to try to cover a couple things off of what I got out there, and then give a couple new songs that ain't too many people heard. So this first song is a song I wrote about a raid that went down in my house. I was living differently back then and doing a lot of dirty and a little bit of crazy. So true story, this happened, and the man I titled this song after was kind enough to let me use his name. His name is Gary Simmons. So the song called Simmons. Simmons running for sheriff currently in Montauk County, Missouri, so vote for him. Find the police in my living room. Montauk County and the DEA. Looks like I won't be getting high today. Said, son, well, there ain't no hope. With mama running mouth and we want the dough. They got the pinch hitters, yeah, they got the bomb. And not enough smoke to be tripping on. Mama, did you call up the FBI? Did you tell the president I was getting high? Why you call the DFS on me? Why you wanna tear up my family? Sitting up now late at night, wide awake in the middle of the twilight. I'm afraid that I won't be very motivated tomorrow. I wish I could drift off to sleep. Eyes are heavy, ironically. This gibberish ain't making no sense, and it's getting to be a little disturbing. Mama, did you call up the FBI? Did you tell the president I was getting high? Why you call the DFS on me? Why you wanna tear up my family? Mama, did you call up the CIA? Did you tell the government I was down with Mary Jane? Starting to feel like a conspiracy. Why you wanna tear up my family? Right. Let's hope y'all are getting better than that out there, putting that stuff behind you. This next song called Pinch, it's a song that I was going through some stuff at the time, so I guess it's kind of soul searching. I had a guy ask me what it took to be a good man, and at the time I was not one, and so couldn't very well tell this man how to be a man when I wasn't one myself yet. I can't pacify me. It's not because of you that I feel this way. And I don't know why. A handful of life can be so hard to take. AM cigarette night. A lifetime of memories can be so hard to forget. If I would have known how easy I could crumble, maybe I could have stepped it up before I stumbled. How was I supposed to show you, Mister, how you should be? Where would I begin to translate it? And I don't even know me. And I don't even know me. I don't even know me. Feel like running a long way away from here. Heard my conscience whispering in my ear. So many things confronted, and I couldn't make the step. Long walk down the avenue, remember who I am. If I would have known how easy I could crumble, maybe I could have stepped it up before I stumbled. Yeah, when I stumbled. How was I supposed to show you, Mister, how you should be? Where would I begin to translate it? And I don't even know me. And I don't even know me. I don't even know me. All right. Thank you very much, guy in the booth. All right, I'll tell you what, we'll step things up just a little bit. This song is called Chef Amphetamine. It is off my second album, and again, it's, doing a lot of bad things at a time in my life that I've come so far away from, but it has been captured in a song, that time, so it's out there, might as well put it out there. We got the cook spot, but it's hot, better let it go. Dimes dropped off the top of your man, done let him know the pills, the base, and the batteries. Made like a punk and told him everything in the kitchen and the living room. People watching you, trying hard to be discreet, way too much activity for the focus that you need. Can't concentrate on anything. Need a safe place, easy bake, when no one's gonna know. When you pop the top and fire off the double A ammonia, and the policeman don't gotta know. Got no audience to watch the show. First pull going cool, 8 in the oven. Second time, hey, maybe we can get another. Lay it out, chop it with a razor. Like a big will get it blazing. Hey, Chef Amphetamine, still can't reach $50,000 on manufacturing. Catch a quick shower and I find my groove. Throw down a dub, pull up to 22. Eyes wide and dilated, P.O. screaming that I'm violated. Call your house before I come by so you don't trip out on my headlights. And if the bag is tight and the money's right, you can bet it's gonna be a good night. I don't mean to praise, I know it's a tweak, but I gotta admit you look a little geeked out. Maybe you should cut back, kick back, relax, take a little time out, low profile, makes it all worthwhile. You don't know what's going down with 007, picking these dead strings, wishing for the jingling, and then I bumped up. Man, that's some good. Hey, chef amphetamine, you've been up too long, and that 50 cent is getting hard to reach. Chasing time in dollar signs, trying to make ends meet. Feeling crowded now in a big little room green. Well, it ain't no joke to strapping all my friends with felonies. Ain't no shame in losing the game. Hell, I got 2 bills, but I still can't reach $50,000 on manufacturing. In mid-Missouri, Monotone County. Good to be able to sing them, knowing that you moved past it, that's for sure. All right, so this next tune, it's about a time I went fishing, and that's exactly what it's called, is fishing. True story. Maybe some of you out there have had trips like this. Well, we found a new place to try our luck. Well, the catfish is told to be big, so we loaded up all the necessities and dropped the kids and moms again. Straight and treble hooks and tips from fishing books. We hopped right into the van, and before we left, we asked the old man to keep the grease hot in the frying pan. We went fishing last night out under the moon, and the intoxicating tackle began to consume. With a smile on my face, it set in just how high I was. Yeah, I went fishing last night, and all I caught was a buzz. Called my brother-in-law to take him along for an escape out on the water. With a stationary line, he spent most of his time texting somebody's daughter. Well, my wife loves to go, everybody knows. She's hooked like a great big cat. She keeps the cooler stocked and nearly hooks me a lot. But I don't mind, cause she's got a nice cat. We went fishing last night out under the moon, when the intoxicating tackle began to consume. With a smile on my face, it set in just how high I was. I went fishing last night, and all I caught was a buzz. I went fishing last night, and all I caught was a buzz. Got bit by mosquitoes, ate all the Doritos. Wasn't nothing biting but the buzz. Oh boy. All right. This next song is called Black and Mild. I wrote this song, it was probably one of my first ones. And at the time, believe it or not, it was kind of inspired by my mom. I used to watch her around the house. she was great. You know, she was a fantastic mother and a great wife, and she, you know, did the stay-at-home mom thing, and she was really good at it. But I could always see in her, you know, that, you know, kind of wondering what else might be out there. Is it just doing laundry and taking care of kids, you know? So I come up with this song, and here's Black and Mild. She says she would like to go somewhere, feel the wind in her hair. She's tired of living this life, one day at a time. And in her dreams, fairy tales, fantasies that she knows so well, and all the secrets she keeps locked away inside. No, there ain't nothing wrong, no reason to be crying. She just keeps on trying, just keeps on smiling, but she screams, hold on to me one more time now, take me out of this place. Can't you see that I need you tonight, yeah, need to feel your embrace. Been so long since I've felt this good, I wanna share it with you. Throwing my candles now into the wind, I'm gonna run away with you, gonna run away. Finally opened up her eyes to this sheet of time that they call life. There's a brand new smile coming shining through. All those lost yesterdays that have been begging for tomorrow, well, they ain't alone anymore. No, they ain't alone. She feels like dancing. She feels like dancing. She feels like dancing, yeah, on the sun again. But she screams, hold on to me one more time now, take me out of this place. Can't you see that I need you tonight, yeah, need to feel your embrace. It's been so long since I've felt this good, I wanna share it with you. Throwing my candles now into the wind, I'm gonna run away with you, gonna run away. All right, let's see, what else we got? How about this tune here is going over pretty good for me. It's called Last Name, and it's become a great wedding tune, as a matter of fact. Hopefully have it in mind next year. You hear that, honey? The song was written at a different time in my life, so it's already out there on an album. It's on Plain and Simple Bipolar 101. But when I wrote this song, I was in a bad relationship, and I guess this is kind of written for what I wanted to have had it been able to happen. So oddly enough, now I feel like I've met the person I'm supposed to be with my entire life, and the song has never applied more than it does today. So with that said, here's Last Name. wanna make you unhappy. I wouldn't wanna let you down. I can see you carrying a heavy load. It's already wearing you out. My sole concern is to paint you better off, to give you all of the best in me, no matter the cost. Fill these walls and these babies with love. There's never been any doubt, you are the only one I'm thinking of. So tonight, I wanna pull you in a little bit closer to me, remind you why we became a family. And I can be romantic for you in my cowboy boots and my birthday suit. You still smile in my crazy way. I never felt better than the day God put us together. I took your hand and gave you my last name. Time engraves these moments in our left-hand wedding bands. I watched you become a woman. You gave me your bedroom. Each day you impress me with a strength I've never known. Taught me there's a purpose in taking a higher road. Watch our children grow beneath the shade trees. As we sit in our backyard, couldn't dream of anything more amazing. Until tonight, when I pull you in a little bit closer to me, remind you why we became a family. And I can be romantic for you in my cowboy boots and my birthday suit. You still smile in my crazy ways. I've never felt better than the day God put us together. I took your hand and I gave you my last name. Right on, right on. I don't know how much time we got left there. How many more songs do you think we got? All right, so I'm going to throw out a couple songs here real quick that may be a bit taboo. Hopefully we can cut them. I don't know. This first tune is meant to be a joke. I wanted to try to write something kind of sublime-ish, and as a joke, I sit behind some drums with a guitar, and I come up with something somewhat ska reggae-ish, I guess, and it ended up on my first disc because I didn't have a song to make it an even 12 songs, so we ended up throwing it on there. It's the shortest song I got, and for whatever reason, I've had to play this one probably more than any. The song's called Whorehouse. At the whorehouse, some stuff you don't want from a fat chick. Yeah, some stuff you don't want 'cause it's gonna itch. Yeah, at the whorehouse. Now more than one time with a hot chick. Yeah, yeah, at the whorehouse. At the dope man's house, you get what you want and you get it quick. Yeah, some stuff that ain't bunk and you get it quick. Yeah, yeah, at the dope man's house. At the po-po's house, you can get high on some cocaine. Yeah, some confiscated stuff right in my brain. Yeah, yeah, at the po-po's house. In my house, we ain't down with the rock now. They used to do the needle, but we stopped now. Had to put the bottle down somehow. Yeah, yeah, in my house. In my house. In my house. Bet that you're gonna get naked. Yeah, you and me gonna get naked. Yeah, yeah, in my house. In my house. That's for all you wonderful fans out there that asked me to do that song, and if they keep it and you can hear it, then I'm happy. If not, I did my part. This next one, it's called the Pig Song, for you same group of people. Where does this song come from? My dad told me that if I was a country artist, I would make $1 million, you know, and at the time I was a teenager and not into country music so much. And he wouldn't get off me about it. He was an older guy, and he was pretty persistent. So at the time, I had a potbelly pig as a pet and a wife I didn't much like. So I gave Dad a country song. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pig Tune. Well, I fell into some money when I met my honey. I thought my luck had changed. She was a big-breasted beauty, a playboy cutie, without a damn bit of brains. And everything was rolling smooth, no chance I'll ever get the blues, till I came home early one day. And man, it wasn't funny to find my playboy bunny rolling with my pig in the hay. She's mounting my pig again, and Lord, I know it ain't right, the way she gets that sucker squealing in the middle of the night. She's mounting my pig again, and Lord, something must be wrong, the way she keeps it screaming Jimmy Dean all night long. Well, I knew that chick liked bacon, and every now and then got a craving, but I never thought it was this bad. And it forces me to drinking when I start thinking of all the fun with her and that pig had. It's sleeping in my king-size bed and giving my old lady head, rooting bush in the middle of the night. And I just couldn't face it again, the mud that the two went wallowing in, holding on to each other so tight. She's mounting my pig again, and Lord, I know it ain't right, the way she gets that sucker squealing in the middle of the night. She's mounting my pig again, and Lord, something must be wrong, the way she keeps it screaming Jimmy Dean all night long. Yeah, that ain't right. I don't condone that kind of behavior. All right, we got enough time for one more short one. This song right here, I ought to play a couple off what's the new album that's coming out. So, in light of that, this is a new song. You know, it's again a song that it was written a while ago, but applies to my life today more than ever. And it's funny how songs can do that. They're kind of timeless. You know, some can be. The song's called Testify. I can't even begin to define how you stumbled into this heart of mine when I swore that I wouldn't love anybody. We lost each other so long ago, and we both traveled our own broken roads. You're working on you, and I'm working on me. Play these shows and speak about me. And all these tunes make my diary. Many pictures of this life that I've had. And I won't push you up against a wall. That wouldn't be fair to us at all. There's something you need independently. Here I sit in the middle of the day, testifying now and screaming your name till the time is right, and I'm what you need. I'm gonna keep it inside, this love you own in me. I'm gonna keep it inside for you individually. Till I'm what you need. All right, testify.
Alrighty, man. Thank you so much, Billy Jack Purnell of Plain and Simple. Thank you so much for coming by,
Thank you so
for
much
making
for
the
having
trek.
me. I sure appreciate it.
Any other people you want to acknowledge? I know you brought some people with you.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, my road dogs, Dustin Lawler and 30 Pack Jack. Doing what I can to get their name out there, too, because there's some great guys, and everybody that runs into them ought to know that. So, I mean, these guys, they're my best friends, that's for sure, you know. And then, like I said, I got my smoking hot honey at home that knows I love her and coming back to her, and the kids that I love also and support me so much. None of this stuff would be happening without them, that's for sure. Mom, better thank Mom and above all God, you know. So that's about where I keep it.
Awesome. So where are you off to next?
Well, I tell you what, we're gonna head back home. It's back to the 9 to 5 and paying bills and that kind of thing, you know. Being dad and honey-do list. But as far as the music's going, I've got Country Fan Jam coming up in June. It was, like I said, it's June 11th through the 14th. It's a big deal. 4-day fest. It's all for the fans, you know, to kind of get up close to some of the greats that they grew up with and the artists today. After that, I got Excelsior Springs, downtown Excelsior Springs, July 10th in Missouri. That's for BK Concerts and 1027 The Hog down there.
Okay.
It's part of their Funky Fridays that they do in Excelsior Springs. And anything else that happens to come up along the way, I sure try to do all of it.
Awesome. Well, thank you once again. You know you're very much welcome here in the Edge Lounge and on theedgeonair.com. We do have your music, which will be in constant rotation. So once again, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Billy Jack Purnell on the Edge Lounge, Plain and Simple. Be on the lookout for their music. I'm Everett, Program Director of theedgeonair.com. You guys have a great rest of your day. We're out of here.
Right on.